Come awake, come awake, come and rise up from the grave. Christ is risen from the dead, we are one with him again. Come awake, come awake, come and rise up from the grave. Oh, death, where is your sting? Oh, hell, where is your victory? Oh, church, come stand in the light. The glory of God has defeated the night. Oh, death, where is your sting? Oh, hell, where is your victory? Oh, church, come stand in the light. Our God is not dead, he's alive, he's alive. Christ is risen from the dead, trampling over death by death. Come awake, come awake, come and rise up from the grave. Christ is risen from the dead, we are one with him again. Come awake, come awake, come and rise up from the grave.
All right, so Father Terry did call and ask for some special music and maybe a couple words if we had some spiritual ideas regarding the music. And what we're going to play this week with Mike. Thank you, Mike, so much for playing with us. It's a whole other dimension, and we've enjoyed one service and a couple rehearsals. But we're playing. So I know it as My Redeemer Lives, but I think it's called Redeemer. And we released it on Easter maybe 2 years ago as a video, or a year ago? No, 1 year ago. Yeah, beginning of COVID, that's right. Anyway, it's a beautiful song. I'm biased. I love it when my wife sings it, but of course it just proclaims the truth, and what a message it is. I mean, I think if we're not careful, if you're anything like me, it kind of can sneak into that Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy category, and I think we're all Western educated, and we kind of know how things work scientifically, but we have these nice fables that give us hope, but that's not at all what this is. That this is a fact, the ultimate fact of reality. It's actually the most real thing, and I think that's hard for us to remember. I think we get conditioned to think differently. It reminds me of a trip that we took. My older brother was very kind and took everybody up to Montana, and we took a bus trip, a tour down to Yellowstone. And I was excited, but I didn't. I think I had good ideas about what might happen, and it was kind of fun. I took all my experience of what I knew about the earth. I was 36 at the time, and thought I kind of had it figured out. It was nice and solid. I walk on it. It supports me. It pulls me, unfortunately, a little heavier down to the scale than I'd like, but but that was my understanding of the ground beneath my feet, and I thought I had it all figured out. And that first pool that we pulled up to was glowing fluorescent, and it smelled like sulfur, and you just felt the volcanic energy that was actually underneath all that I thought. And I realized very quickly I had no idea what was really going on under there. And then I had been lulled to sleep by years of just thinking I kind of had this thing figured out. And I think you become an adult and you assume a certain amount of responsibility, and pretty soon it's like, well, magical things aren't real. Everything's kind of, reminds me of Newtonian physics. It's like everything's linear, but when you get towards the extremes, it's actually really not linear. And time is not what we think it is, and matter is not doing what we thought it did. And truthfully, life is way more mysterious than we ever give it credit for. And that's I'm trying to get back in touch with that. I'm talking to myself a lot here this Easter, because like I said, it can kind of sneak into this category. And I just think I encourage you, and I'm encouraging myself to find ways to daily tap into the truth and the mystery of what we proclaim in the resurrection of Christ. And that it's not just some thing that we, kind of throw up in that cloud, that it's the ultimate fact of reality. And I think we all have moments, whether it's birth and new life or death, we all come up to these precipices or these Yellowstones, and we realize life really is mysterious. And then here is the author of the mystery, Jesus himself. And I relate to the gospel reading today, how shocked the disciples were. And I mean, we feel that. But then also Jesus said at the end that he had to fulfill what was written in the Old Testament scriptures. And I just love all the times when you realize that thousands of years before, there were all these truths that were being foretold about this coming Redeemer. And no one back then kind of knew about it, but literally verbatim. I mean, Jesus has so many moments from his moment on the cross when he's quoting the Psalm to all these times. But one that hit me, my wife and I are listening to a Proverbs series, and it's all about wisdom and trying to find wisdom and practical living, and how ultimately the ultimate wisdom is not a sense of precepts, but actually getting to know this person. And there's this part in Proverbs where wisdom is personified, and it says, I was there in the beginning. I was there when the Lord laid out the waters. And it sounds like the end of Job when God's asking Job, like, surely you know you were there. But here's this person that is the essence of wisdom. And there was another ancient wisdom text. It's not in the scriptures, but it was studied along with it thousands of years before Jesus. And I don't have she has the quote right here. It was from the wisdom of the son of Sirach, and like I said, it was written thousands of years before Christ. It was an Israel. They would have studied it along with Proverbs probably. And here's a quote from it. It says, "Turn unto me, you who are untaught. Why do you say you are lacking in these things, and why are your souls so thirsty? I say to you, find wisdom, put your necks under its yoke, and bear its burden. If you are intent, you can find wisdom. See with your eyes that I have labored for it, and I have found for my soul much rest." And if that doesn't sound familiar, because thousands of years later, can you imagine what these ancient studiers of wisdom would have found when this man shows up and says, come unto me, take on my burden, for you'll find rest for your souls, you know. And here is Jesus fulfilling all the prophecy that has been talked about for years. And I'm just encouraging all of us to embrace the author of all the mystery, who is fulfilling all of history, and who is indeed risen. So we're going to sing a song about our Savior, our Redeemer lives.
Who taught the sun where to stand in the morning? And who told the ocean you can only go this far? And who told the moon where to hide till evening? Whose words alone can catch a falling star? Well, I know my Redeemer lives. I know my Redeemer lives. Let all creation testify. Let this life within me cry. I know my Redeemer lives. Oh, the very same God that spins things in orbit runs to the weary, the worn, and the weak, and the same gentle hands that hold me when I'm broken. They conquer death to bring me victory. I know my Redeemer Now I